straight from the automotive industry event of the year, NADA 2025. Chicks in Charge and Authenticom are bringing you the biggest names in automotive. From industry disruptors to game-changing innovators, we're getting the inside scoop on what's next for the auto world. This is where leaders talk and the future takes shape. Are you ready? Buckle up and let's dive in.
Welcome back to day 2 of NADA. We are here at the Authenticom booth and having so much fun. First interview of the day, so I'm going to be super high energy, but we've got Petra Fox with Dealer Alchemist with us. Welcome.
Thank you, Shasta.
And you are not a newcomer to the show. This is your second time, but it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It has. What have you been up to since then?
So last we spoke, I wasn't with Dealer Alchemist. I had just moved to Phoenix. I was still like trying to get set, with the relocation. Now, like, my older kid is about to go to college.
Wow.
My middle son just turned 8. I'm doing great. I love Dealer Alchemist.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Where's your oldest going to college at?
Southern Utah. He actually just got his offer yesterday for a full ride.
Oh, my gosh. For what?
For football.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I was like, oh, my God, my baby. That's my baby. So I'm like, you graduate on May 19th, and he goes off to college the end of May.
That's awesome. Is he going for anything specific or just?
Yeah, exercise science.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's perfect for a football player.
It is. And he's going to play football. He wants to go to the league. So we're going as far as we can go.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you moved to Phoenix from the Northeast, which is like a huge change, like climate difference and time difference and cultural differences. What's kind of been like the biggest shocker for you coming from the Northeast?
Well, it's hot in Phoenix.
Yeah, it'll vary.
I mean, hot. But the thing is that as a military family, I move a lot. So I kind of just get in and I kind of just, figure it out.
Yeah.
But the people are different. Like, I'm a New York City girl through and through.
Mm-hmm.
And the West Coast it's a different vibe.
Yeah.
But when you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I always call it like fast and slow. Like, New York is very fast paced. You got to know where you're going.
Yeah.
Get there. There ain't no time for lollygag. And
Right.
On the West Coast, like, it's chill. And it's same way in the Midwest. Like, we kind of go at our own pace. And, hey, how are you? And it's very, very different if you're not used to it.
Yeah. And I will say this. I have no desire to go super fast in my life, right? So, like, when I go to New York, I'm, like, there for 3 days. And I'm like, all right, get me out of here. Because I don't have, the conveniences of New York were great when I was, like, 20.
Yeah.
But I'm 35. I have a whole family. I don't need to be at the store at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I don't need to get on the subway and have to, like, run at 7 a.m. So I like the slower pace. I realize I do move fast just naturally. And so, the West Coast reminds me, like, it's a slow down a little bit.
Yeah. It's good to slow down. Yeah. And speaking of slowing down, you really took your time. I remember when we spoke last time, you were really taking your time kind of vetting where you wanted to go work.
100%.
So when we talk about Dealer Alchemist, what was the deciding factor that you're like, these are my people, this is where I want to be?
So I will say this, Dealer Alchemist, from the leadership team, from the executive team, from the owners, all the way down, there's a very delicate and intentional care for the employees. And so when I had the opportunity, I had a person that I knew in the business that I could go to, like, hey, how's this company? He knew me since I was a green pea, like 22, so I was just getting in it. And he was like, Petra, you would do amazing here. I was never on the vendor side. No. I just had a lot of, experience. And I know I told you, I'm like, listen, I got to get on the vendor side. I have these kids. I have my son was really needy, for high school. And I just couldn't do the retail hours. Yeah. And so when I met with my boss, she was amazing. And then when I thought about, like, I heard about their culture, their values, being able to work remotely, having that structure and still being in the dealership realm, it was great. Like, and I absolutely love the company, and being there now and seeing, the growth and the changes, I think it's going to be a powerhouse, in the automotive space for sure. We just got partnership with Honda and Acura.
Wow.
Yes, that's great. I signed, a store group last week. I was on a trip and they loved my service. And so The thing is, when you love what you do, it makes it really easy. Yeah. So my retention is good because I care. And the company, Dealer Alchemist, really they have a care culture. So it makes it easy.
Yeah. So what you obviously are working with a lot of dealers and making sure to really hone in on what their needs are. What solutions are you guys providing? And how do you see that kind of growing in 2025?
I mean, it's going to grow. It's going to catapult 2025. There's so many things in the pipeline. But the thing is that I think in advertising, especially, we had this like set it and forget it kind of mentality, right? And so a lot of the bigger companies have it's a bigger company. Dealer Alchemist still has a boutique style. And so I'm very intentional about what does each store need and how do I meet those needs, right?
Yeah.
Sales needs, inventory, all of these, there's so many facets and so many components to advertising. And we're constantly adjusting. We're really a tech company, and we do advertising. So we have technology that works for us, but on top of the technology, there's like 50 million eyes looking at your ads. What can we do to make them more efficient, more effective?
Yeah.
What are your needs as they shift, as inventory will shift? Like we have to switch the things up and switch our strategies up. So we really, and especially for me and everybody else on the customer success team, we want to see our dealers win. So I have 100% retention for a reason. Like I know what my dealers need. I have great relationships with them. They trust me, and they'll ask me about things like BDC things, other things that not necessarily what I kind of provide for them. But we've created that relationship where they know, like, okay, if I have a question or issue, I can go to Petra. And if she doesn't know, she'll find somebody that can help me.
Right.
And so that really makes a difference. I didn't experience that as a on the retail side, getting that from a vendor. It was very much like, hey, this is what we do. Bye. I talk to my dealers like once a week. And it's not even like, hey, what's going on, or more of like, okay, I see this going on. I think we could do this. I recommend this. And let's not wait until there's an issue and just try to be reactive. Let's be proactive and stay ahead of the curve. And so Dealer Alchemist does that. I have great support from our support staff, so I'm able to support my dealer as well.
Now, I will say the proactive word. I heard it several times yesterday during interviews that seems to be the shift going into 2025. And we have to be very intentional. And we talk about, oh, the industry did this, the industry did that. And it's like, the industry does what we allow it to do. And so we are going to control the narrative this year. It's very much feeling like this is the year we take back automotive. And we stop being a victim to its ebbs and flows, and we decide what direction it's going to go. And I think proactive is the perfect word for it. And even as we saw coming into this event, we talked about it yesterday, all of the weather, and they shut down the entire airport, and you've got people flying in from all over the world to be here. And pivot was the word. Pivot and be proactive. And it was a very easy decision for us. Like, we drove down from Joplin, and it was like by the time it was all said and done, like 12 hours, no big deal. But we could have sat there and been like, oh, okay, well, let's wait for the rescheduled flight. But no, it's you take control of it when it happens and get where you got to be.
The auto industry is resilient.
Oh, so much.
When I got into the automotive industry, Hurricane Sandy had just hit New York. New York had a hurricane.
Yeah.
We lost, and it wasn't just one dealership. It was all the dealerships in the area. They lost like millions of dollars of inventory. And then not only they lose inventory, we're getting, cars from Florida, two-wheel drives. Two-wheel drives are not for New York. No. You know what I mean? And I saw the resilience then, and the bounce back is always greater, right? And so we had COVID. That was a huge shift. And we're getting back to what does this look like after COVID? And how can we continue to refine our strategies and the way we do business? What it is that if we really want to take care of our customers, and we have this idea that we are providing them a service, and it's an honor to be able to provide a service. We're not entitled to this business. We have to work for it. We have to earn it, right?
Yes.
When we're able to use the opportunity to really serve our clients and our customers from the dealership perspective, vendors everywhere, it changes the name of the game. And we want transparency. We want this to be easy now, right? Like, we're the age of, we're Googling everything, we're researching everything. And so it's a different space. And I think the one thing I love about the industry, it continues to evolve. There's always new things to learn. There's always things changing and happening. And when we're able to kind of roll with that, and again, be able to have foresight, be able to be proactive, be able to say, oh, wow, like, we have to get ahead of this.
Exactly.
And a lot of these companies are doing that. Dealer Alchemist especially. They're thinking years down the line. And the proactive piece, it's important. It's the only way we're going to be able to sustain any kind of level of growth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as we look forward to 2025, what do you guys have that's new for dealers, or what are you guys revamping? What's exciting right now?
So our website. So okay, I'm part of a tech company, and I'm not the techiest person.
Oh, same.
Okay, we have a lot of techie people. I'm the people person. I love to be in front of people, dealer facing. But we have this amazing update to our website. So we acquired a website company earlier this year.
Nice.
And so we have. He's the fastest website really host on the market right now. I have lots of success as a Toyota certified, and we also now Honda and Acura. But we have the ability now to basically create custom pages, websites really instantly. It's like drag and paste, drag and paste,
Nice.
drag and paste. And for me, and for the dealer, of course, that's an easy, like, oh, I'm going to have, like, 4th of July special. I can just build the page really quickly.
Yeah.
It could be live within minutes, and it's fast and it's responsive and it's all the things that I need. So we're rolling that out in summer, and I'm really excited because I know exactly. For dealers, they want it now.
Yeah, exactly.
And they want it easy, right?
Yeah.
So we can't give them all the code and all of that. We want to make it a very easy process. I was able to learn it in like 45 minutes. Again, I'm not a techie person, so I'm usually like, hold on, do that one more time. Where do I have to go? And what / what? No, it's literally you drag it, you paste it. You want a picture, just add a picture. You want to add some, some words, SEO boxes, reviews, like everything can be built. And then you can also like schedule it to go out and schedule it to come down. So you don't even have to manage it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
So
we get so busy. I
Of
mean,
course.
dealers get so busy, especially if
100%.
they have like a sales event or anything like that.
absolutely.
Like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, so the website, I mean, I saw it and I was like, wow, you guys are like, there's a lot of geniuses in this world that can make these things, and it's going to make the lives of the dealers easier. And I think when we're trying to make their lives easier, you build that trust.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that product. I know it's going to do amazing. And yeah, summertime, it'll be out.
For sure. So we found out in doing all the research for the podcast and everything that people absorb information best when it's given to them at an average of a 6th grade reading level. And so honestly, the fact that you're not techie and you're like, okay, I'm gonna break this down to be super simple about it, like
Yes.
that is the best way to explain it,
100%.
because dealer, if you have to think too hard about what somebody's saying, your brain can't take it in. You're busy trying to dissect what it is,
Yeah.
and you can't absorb it. And so I try to think about that all the time, and how I absorb things. We've had guests on the show that like talk at this level up here, and in all of these acronyms and stuff, and I'm like, my brain's sitting here trying to break down what that acronym means, and you're still talking, and I'm missing all of it. Like,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
the guests are that way, or the listeners are that way too, and so it's really good to break it down like that and be like, it's literally the easiest thing ever.
It's so easy. And I think when you're trying to make their lives easier, this is the thing. And I try to educate my dealers. If I'm in analytics and if I'm in Google AdWords, I want to educate them. I want to give them the tools necessary to be able to break down the information so they can do that themselves. Like they can come to me, yes, but I want you to have the tools to be able to read this and make it make sense, right?
Where you don't need me.
Yeah. And also because I want you to be able to go to talk to your staff about these things.
Yeah.
Because these things matter. You know what I mean? So, and with the website, again, it's like, if you can do this, if I can empower you also to do this, your internet manager, your marketing directors, your GSMs, right? If they have the opportunity to make these things, and it's easy for them. Once we made it easy, they'll do it. If we made it hard, yeah, we're never going to be able to move forward with it, right? So I was really impressed. I'm not easily impressed, by the way. I'm a New York girl.
Yeah.
I'm not easily impressed. Things don't really rattle me up too high. I'm like, everything is kind of like, I roll with it. I was like, I'm pretty impressed with it.
Yeah.
So it's not easy to impress me.
I'll say that it helps the dealers maintain control of all of their stuff. And we've come across, and we don't even work in the Google ad space, but we've come across dealers where they're like, I don't have a login in my Google Analytics. I can't get into there. I can't see what's going on. My marketing company has it all on lock. Like, they'll send me a report every now and then, and I'm like, buddy.
Yeah. And
you got to know your numbers.
And that happens a lot. A lot of companies will have like proprietary dashboards, and they will use that for the information they give the dealers. And I'm live in your analytics account, in your AdWords.
It's so needed.
And the reason, because the transparency is important. That's one of the reasons why Sean Kieran, who founded our company, the lack of transparency in marketing is really ridiculous. It really is. Like, I should be able to come to you. You should be able to show me exactly what's going on based on that information, based on what's in my dashboard. I don't want to go to your proprietary dashboard. You can do whatever you can show me whatever you want in there. You know what I mean? And then also talking to your dealer. Like, I couldn't, and there was times that I didn't talk to my, marketing reps for months.
Oh God.
At least a check-in.
How do you know what's going on here?
Exactly. And then they'll call you when something is wrong, right? And at that time, when it's wrong and it's broken, it's already gone too far, right? So you have to stay ahead of those kind of things, and the transparency piece is really important. If your marketing agency is not using your analytics and not your Google AdWords, I would strongly suggest looking for somebody else.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, because you need to be able to see that, be in it, control it,
and it's yours, your historical data. And when you decide you want to leave, you take that with you.
Yeah,
exactly. 100%.
So if I'm a dealer and I'm listening to this right now and I want to learn more, how do I know if I'm in a place where I need to work with Dealer Alchemist? Like, what issues would I be experiencing that you guys can solve?
So if you are not getting phone calls, we make sure, like, we optimize our process to drive more phone calls, more phone bills, more, trade forms. That's one of the things that we aim to do. We make sure that your website looks like what it needs to look like, not all the 17 CTAs and all the things, right? If you're trying to figure out how can you get more dialed in with your ads, we get very strategic and very dialed in. We're not very broad. We get very intentional. We are focused on bringing low funnel buyers to the website. And so we don't really, I don't do the whole vanity metric. Like, I'm not going to come to my dealer, oh, we got to do all these impressions, because I know when I was on that side, like, impressions
don't matter.
They don't, I mean, it's great to know, but
Yeah.
I want to know what the clicks, I want to know about what's happening. When it gets to my website, they see it. What about are they coming to my website?
Right.
Are they seeing it?
Tell me the
not coming
impressions
my
to
website?
clicks.
Right.
Like, I want to know that conversion number. If they're seeing my stuff and not clicking, I want to know why.
Yeah. And then we'll see what's going on, right? And when it gets to my website, and if they're not putting in a lead, why not? If they're stuff at the BDP pages, why do they stop there? Or is it pricing? Is it merchandising? And another thing is we really manage the budget really well.
Mm-hmm.
We're not serving your ads at 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. We're really trying to make sure that we are in front of people who are looking to buy based on their search history, based on how they're searching on Google.
So smart.
Yeah, it's not like, a person that's just like kind of in the air. On OTT platforms, we're not serving it on Gracie's Corner. You know what I mean? We're actually on the platforms and the streaming services that people who are looking for vehicles
so needed.
That way, when we have the budget, no matter what the budget is, we can truly say we've done everything we can to maximize every single cent.
Yes.
And that really sets us apart. And like I said, I've been around for a long time, like almost 15 years in the car business. It's a beautiful business, but there's a lot of issues with transparency that make it hard to measure your results. How do we track our ROI? That's really important, right?
Yeah.
My job is not to sell cars, right? I mean, that's not the marketing person's job. My job is to get you in front of the right people at the right times and drive that traffic. And I mean, one of my groups, if you've seen 100%, 200% increase in calls from going from another website to our website, sessions, users, form fills, all of the things, crazy increases. And again, we're tracking it, making sure the information in Google Analytics is accurate. We are test firing all of your events. We're not just setting it and forgetting it. And we work really hard. Like, another thing is, like, I think there's a lot of times when you get this idea that people just kind of just fly by work and just kind of just do things and like kind of robotic. We work really hard at Dealer Alchemist. Every single person, I can say that wholeheartedly, knowing that if there's a problem, we are all getting on this phone, no matter whose job is what, to figure it out. And we work hard for the dealers.
Well, and I was going to say, it sounds like an exact science, and you guys have it down, and it goes back to The Alchemist.
Yes.
And it is a science, and, plugging and playing and testing and trying and doing all these things.
It makes a difference. And I actually, the book, The Alchemist, is one of my favorite books. I'm a book girl. I love books. I like whole thing. And I told my friends, I had just read it before I applied for the job. I didn't know about Dealer Alchemist at the time.
Yeah.
And I told her I got the job. She's like, weren't you just reading that book like a few months ago? I'm like, you literally have the ability to create whatever it is that you want if you believe it to be true and you're intentional about creating it. So yeah, that's even like a little cherry on top of The Alchemist. I'm like, I love it. It just so aligns with where I am in life, what I'm looking for, and how I want to serve, serve my dealers.
Yeah. So as we wrap up, I want to know what is, if you're not working and, just enjoying your personal time, what is your favorite thing to do in your off time?
So I read a lot. I read a lot of books. I'm actually opening Phoenix's first mobile bookstore.
That's cool.
Yeah, super cool. It's been a family project. I've been working on it since June. Awesome. I actually, at Dealer Alchemist, we have a program. We do this thing called Team Engage. It's personal development. And I've realized I've been kind of scared to do something. I also realized when my son goes to college, I got to find something else to do. I got to lean into my own passions and projects. So we've been doing it since, we've been building it since October.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I will love to hear about it once you have it up and going, and I want to see all the pictures.
I will. I'll send it to you. It was really, really fun.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so glad I got to interview you again.
Yes.
And guys, if you have any of the issues, if you feel like you might even slightly be a person that can be helped by Dealer Alchemist, reach out to Petra, see what they can do for you. Remember, a conversation is always free. Yeah. They will never charge you anything just to have a conversation. So definitely reach out. All of her contact info will be in the show notes. Thank you so much for joining us today, and keep an eye out for the next episode. And remember to light it up. Bye, guys.
This episode is brought to you by Authenticom, the business behind the automotive business. And this is Chicks in Charge Automotive Edition, available wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Help us grow. Rate and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.